Hello, welcome to Mathematics Tutorial. In this video, we're going to learn about solving equation by factoring. We're going to solve quadratic equation. So what is a quadratic equation? So any equation that can be put in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers. And we have to remember that a will not be equal to 0. It's called quadratic equation. So how will we factor quadratic equation? First, we will have to do the zero property or zero factor property. We'll let a and b represent the real numbers. If a times b equals 0, then a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. There are rules that we're going to follow in solving a quadratic equation. So first, we have to put it in the form of standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. And then after that, you have to factor the equation. Next, you have to use the zero factor property. Okay, so to find the value of x and y, or you have to find the value of a and b. Next, that one, so you have to solve the equation. And then the last one, if it is necessary, you have to check your solution. Okay, so when checking the solution, you have to put that one into a real. We have the original equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, let's do some examples. Example number 1. For example, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So you're going to factor out this equation, which is x. What are the factors of 6? Factors of 6 that will give us 5. So therefore we can have now, okay, so what are the factors of 6? So we have the factors of 6 are, first 6 times 1, but 6 times 1 will not give us 5. So therefore, we will go to the other factor, which is equal to 3 times 2. That will give us 5. So therefore, the factor now is equals to x plus 3 and x plus 2 equal to 0. Then after that, we will use this one. We will separate the two equations, the two factors, and then equate into 0. So therefore, we will have now x plus 3 equals to 0. Where x is equals to negative 3, and then the other one we will have now as x plus 2 equals to 0, then x equal to negative 2. So when you're going to check this equation, be sure that it will be equal to 0. So let's try by checking. Okay, so we will have now x equals negative 3. So we will have negative 3 squared plus 5 times negative 3, okay, plus 6 equal to 0. So therefore this one is 9 minus 15 plus 6 equal to 0. So therefore we will have 0 equal to 0. How about the other? We have negative 2 squared plus 5 times negative 2 plus 6 must be equal to 0. So therefore here we will have 4 minus 10 plus 6 equal to 0. So therefore we get 0 equal to 0. Okay, so that is how we will do now factoring, and then we will find the value of x. Example number 2. We have 4x squared equals 8x. So first thing we will do is we have to make it in the form of ax squared, or we equate this one into 0. So therefore we will have now 4x squared minus 8x equals to 0. Okay, to find the GCF, we have common factor 4x squared minus 8x. So what is the common factor of 4x squared? And we have 8x. So when you're going to do the GCF, so therefore we will have now the factor of 4x squared will be 4 equal to 2 times 2 times x times x. For 8x, we will have now as 2 times 2 times 2 times x. So therefore the common factor is equals to 2 times 2 and x. So we will have now 4x times x minus divide that one. So therefore we will have 2, okay, equal to 0. So now we will separate into two factors. So we have 4x equals 0, where x equal to 0, and the other one we will have x minus 2 equal to 0, and then x is equals to positive 2. So our two factors now, or two value of x, are 0 and positive 2. Let's try if our answer is correct. For example, we will have let x equals to positive 2. So we'll have 4x squared equal to 8x. So 4 times 2 squared equals to 8 times 2, which is 4 times 4 equals to 16, which is 16 equals to 16. So basically, when you are going to use 0, so therefore when we both sides multiply by 0, it will be equal by 0. Okay, let's try another example. Let's say we have 2x squared minus 5x equals to 12. So what is the factor now? So we have to make it in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So therefore we'll have 12, or we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 equals to 0. So what are the factors now of 12 and 2x? So we will get now as 2x, because the factor of 2x squared is 2x n times the value of x. And then here both are negative, so therefore in this factor one of this one is positive and negative. So we will have now what are the factors of 12. So therefore the factors of 12 are 3 and 4, 12 and 1 and 6 and 2. So therefore if we are going to factor that one out, so the answer will become 2x plus 3 and x minus 4 equals to 0. So therefore the value now of x is 2x plus 3 equals 0, and the other one we will have x minus 4 equals to 0. So therefore the value of x now is x equal to negative 3 over 2 and x equals to positive 4. So these are the two values now. If you are going to use that one to check, so be sure that it will be equal. For example, we will use let x, okay, we'll use the fraction, let x equal to negative 3 over 2. So we have 2 times negative 3 over 2 squared minus 5 times 3 over 2, okay, equals to 12. So therefore we will have now as 2, okay, this one is 9 over 2, right? So we have 9 over 4 when we are going to square that. So we have 9 over 4. Then negative times negative becomes positive now. So therefore we will have now plus 15 over 2 equal to 12. So this one now will cancel out. 9 over 2 plus 15 over 2 will give us 12. So therefore this one is 9 plus 15 is 24 divided by 2 equals to 12 over 12. Okay, let's go to the next example. For example, we have x times 12 minus x equal to 32. Okay, so before we will equate that one to 0, we will have to distribute first the value of x using the distributive property, okay, law of multiplication. So therefore we will get now 12x minus x squared, and then we move the 32 here, so that will become negative 32 equal to 0. When we arrange that, negative x squared plus 12x minus, okay, 12x minus 32 equal to 0. So first thing you will do is you have to multiply. You make the value of x squared here, or ax squared, the value of a becomes positive. So you multiply now, you have to multiply by -1. So therefore the final now form of the equation is equals to x squared minus 12x plus 32 equal to 0. So when we observe, we have to find the values or the factor of 32, okay, so that we can have as well the sum of 12. So therefore, we will have now as, what are the factors of 32? So we will not use 16, okay, because both of that one will give us 16 times 2 will give us, or -16, -2 will give us -18. So therefore, we'll use now -8 and -4. That will give us -12. So therefore, the factor now is equal to x minus 8 and x minus 4 equals to 0. So our value of x now, x minus 8 equal to 0 and x minus 4 equals to 0. So the values of x are x equals +8 and x equal to +4. So when we are going to try to multiply that, so let's say x is equals to 8. Okay, so we have 8 times 12 minus 8 equals to 32. So therefore 8 times 4 equals to 32. 32 is equal to 32. The other side, we have 4 times 12 minus 4 equal to 32, right? So 4 times 8 now equal to 32, and then we get 32 equal to 32. So remember guys that when we are going to factor the equation, we have to make that one in the form of ax squared, okay, plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, let's try one more example. For example, we have this equation. X plus 7 squared equal to 2x plus 3. X plus 7 squared plus or equal to 2x plus 13. Okay, so in this case we will have now, this one is using FOIL method, so therefore we'll have x squared. Remember, we have x plus, or we get a plus b squared, which give us a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, right? So therefore we'll get now x squared plus 7 times x times 2, 14a or 14b, okay, which is 14x plus 49 minus 2x minus 13. Okay, so we get minus 2x minus 13 equal to 0. Then we will have x squared plus 12x, and then after that we will get plus 36 equal to 0. So this one is one of the perfect, okay, so perfect binomial, or a square of a binomial, because the factor of this one is 6 times 6, that will get 12. So therefore we will have now x plus 6 squared equal to 0. So the value of x now is equal to -6. So when we are going to check that, let x equals -6. So -6 plus 7 squared equal to 2 times -6 plus 13. So here we will have 1 equal to -12 plus 13 equal to 1. So guys, once again, if we are going to factor, we have a quadratic equation, what we will do, we have to remember these rules. Okay, so first put the equation in a standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Then after that, you have to factor the equation, use the zero factor property, solve the equation, and if necessary, you have to check your solution. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you and have a nice day.